So, what if I tell you that in the coming few days, you will have 4 to 5 extra hours every day? And no, I'm not talking about you getting more than 24 hours, but what I'm talking about is uh, in my series, when I'm now talking about remote working or work from home, when most of the people are about to move to work from home kind of a situation, a lot of things will be cut down and you will be having extra hours every day. So in this video, primarily I'm not going to talk about tips and techniques, but most importantly I'm going to talk about a few things that you can do while you're at home and how to optimize your uh, hours or the extra time you get. Most importantly, I have a special advice for students or aspiring student entrepreneurs. So do watch this video till the end and make sure you share it with your friends. So hi guys, my name is Dil Nawaz. I'm the founder of Codesign Labs. In the past two previous videos, we have spoken about this, that in the rise of this corona thing happening, most of the people are now switching to work from home kind of an opportunity, or work from home kind of a situation. And there are a lot of things happening. I have spoken about a few of the best practices in my first video. I've spoken about a few of the techniques and tools, especially in my second video. But in this third video, I'm going to talk about one of the most important things, which is what to do with the extra hours. And of course, you're going to cut down a lot on the commute time. I have friends, I know people back in Bangalore, Mumbai, and most importantly in Delhi, where they drive to their office 2 hours on a single side. They spend almost 3 to 4 to 5 hours every day in just commuting, and then that also adds to lack in productivity and laziness, right? Most importantly, you're going to cut a lot onto your meeting times, those unnecessary meetings that you have to do in office and even outside office. That's going to go out there, out of the window. You will have less wastage of your time during your lunch hours or unnecessary breaks that you take during your office hours. So you're going to definitely, I'm sure each one of us will definitely be getting roughly 3 to 4 hours extra every day. And I have made a few pointers around which I think you can do now when you have extra hours. Of course, other than looking at your well-being and looking at your health, and most importantly, now you have extra time to spend with your family, but you will definitely be having a lot more time to invest at multiple places, right? So let us start with the first thing that I believe, that first thing you should be looking at or picking up at starting a new hobby, right? So all of us have some sort of an hobby, and because of our busy schedule and because of work and everything, we have given up on the hobby. So you might be a guitar player, or you might be a musician, or you might be a painter. You might have some sort of a hobby, which is a great time to again relook at, because it's a very therapeutic thing. So if you have a hobby, so make sure you look again at your hobby, and maybe if you can start working on that, it's a great time to relook at your hobby. So most important, as a part of the hobby, I would like to incorporate this thing, that also learn cooking, right? So everybody should know how to cook, and it's a great hobby to have, but most importantly, it's a survival thing, right? So considering the nature of work we have, the kind of family structure we have, everybody should know cooking. So if you are not pursuing any other hobby, try and learn cooking, or at least learn a few things from your family in terms of cooking, right? Second most important thing is also, let's relook at our habits. So it's a good time that we have now to introspect at what we do in daily routine, right? When we are in the hustle bustle of going to office every day, and it's a very structured 9 to 5 thing, we have less time, right? We have less time to look who we are and what we do, and to introspect into ourselves, right? So it's a great time to look at your hobbies, whether it is looking at your sleeping schedule, whether it is waking up early, or catching up on the work, eating more healthy, maybe starting working out. Look at how you can make it more like a lifestyle thing, and incorporate a new habit into lifestyle. Maybe you can also start journaling, maybe read a book every day. You can start writing anything which you think would add into your personal development, I would say it's a great time to look at that. Third and most important thing which you can do is catch up on work. All of us have got multiple pendencies in our work life, right? And there's something which is always the back end or is due. So it's a great time to catch up on the work. Most importantly, cut on the clutter. There are enough things already piled up. Your inbox is piled up. Your entire file structure is piled up in your drive, in your hard disk. It's a great time to cut the clutter. It's a great time to organize your work thing. It's a great time to clear that inbox, and it's a great time to catch up on the pending work. Most importantly, cut the clutter is the thing I want to say. Fourth and the most important thing is that where we primarily Indians lack is not upskilling ourselves or not updating ourselves with time. So it's a great time, I believe, for all of us to look at our professional qualifications and upgrade ourselves. Maybe you can do a small course from Udemy or all those websites, or maybe you can start learning something new. But upgrading yourself professionally in any or the other way you think, I think is a great time to do that. It's a very strong recommendation from your side. You might be an engineer, you might be a finance professional, you might be from any other stream or domain. Please make sure you learn a one new added professional skill, and this is what I want to emphasize on in this time, because it's a high time we upgrade ourselves. And now, because you have extra hours on your hand, make sure you learn a new course or do something new which helps you become a better professional. Last but not the least, most importantly, start working on a personal brand. I speak with so many people and they want a higher pay grade or want to upgrade themselves in the job, or maybe need a better raise, and they are looking for some sort of a certification. Generally, when I see and I talk to them and I ask them that what have you done to kind of prove that you know it. So certificate is of course one benchmark, but in general, employers these days want to know whether you are efficient enough, or you know what you're talking about, right? Whether it is maybe content writing, whether it is any sort of whether it is I would say social media, any other thing. I might not have the right line of things at this point in time, but all I want to say is that employers now want you to prove that you're good enough at what you're saying, and it is not just backed by the certificate. So it's a great time to build your personal brand. Of course, upskill yourself and align with a personal brand. Maybe start writing on social media. If you don't have social media accounts, create them, start putting out right content out there. And if you're really an enthusiast, start a podcast, start a YouTube channel. Maybe most importantly, start writing on your LinkedIn, start a Medium account, maybe answer questions on Quora. I think it's a great time to touch up your personal brand and improve your other things. So quickly summarizing this all, and then I'll move on to the students part. Spend more time with the family, incorporate a new habit, upgrade yourself professionally. It's a great time to maybe declutter your work and get a focus back. Start reading, start writing, catch up on the work, catch up on the sleeping schedule, and most importantly, start working on a personal brand. Now I want to talk about the most important thing in this particular video for all those who aspire to do something, aspire to do a startup, and most importantly, the students who have an idea. So I get approached by so many students and so many people who are working in a job, and they say we are not happy, we want to do a startup. The most important thing, guys, that you need to understand while you're thinking of building a startup is you need something called as idea validation. You need to make sure that if you are thinking of raising funds, if you're trying to reach out to anybody out there in the market, you should have some sort of a validation around your idea. That means that you should have identified a problem, looked at a solution, created some sort of prototype, have done some sort of validation. And I think now you have enough time, any which ways, especially for these schools and colleges, college students, right? Your colleges are off right now. You have nothing else to do in your life, and the exams are long way down, much far right now. So consider this to be, I should not say this, but consider this to be a blessing in disguise. You have enough time right now. Most importantly, what I want to say is do your research. That is number one. Whatever idea you think you have, do your research, figure out whether there's anybody else doing it or not, figure out if there's enough market out there or not. Second, start building and doing surveys. Go and talk to relevant people and see whether it's a great idea to pursue or not. And third, and most importantly, if you're an engineering student or maybe not, build a team and build a prototype and go out there and test the product. And when I say go out there, don't really go out there. It can be done digitally. So guys, it's a great time to upskill yourself, or especially work on the startup, that idea you want to build. I think you have enough time on your hands. So, and if utilized wisely, I think it will help us in becoming a better person, better professional, and of course will help us in achieving better things in life. So guys, utilize this time well. I hope you like this video and do share it with the people who need it. Thank you so much.